What's up, nerds? Something I don't advocate too much is that I love Telltale games. Narrative, story-based gameplay that is heavily affected by everything you do and every decision that you make. First Telltale I ever saw was Walking Dead, but the first I ever played was Telltale Batman, and I loved it. Feeling the weight of your choices and dealing with the consequences of your actions. So I was delighted to learn that the newest superhero game, Dispatch, was the new Telltale that we all wanted. The first bit of this video will be me hyping up the mechanics and teasing the story without actually giving away anything, so that once that's covered, we can begin the deep dive of the game's content. And don't worry, I'll give a heads up when we get there. You play as Robert Robertson III, and any comment you just made has either been parroted by Blazer or any member of the Z-Team. Robert is the third generation of Mecha Man, and in his first mission in the game, you get a feel for what to expect from this. Basically, it's a Telltale version of Invincible or The Boys. Side note, I haven't actually watched The Boys, so I don't really know anything about it other than Homelander being a
cheeky dick waffle.
The fight ends with us barely able to escape, only for there to be a bomb that destroys the Mecha Man suit. Later, Robert gets recruited by Blonde Blazer to be a new dispatcher in exchange for getting help to rebuild the Mecha Man suit. The main gameplay is exactly what the name of the game sounds like. You're dispatching a team of superpowered characters on missions to try and get the best results. Every character has specialties and strengths that grow and improve as you play the game. You have to balance out who's right to go and how many to send. You don't have to fill every slot the mission gives you, and depending on the state of your team, you may have to leave some empty slots. You have to factor in travel time, return time, resting time, on top of the time it'll take to complete the task. A hero has to rest upon coming back to base before they can be sent back out, and if you're too gung-ho, you can easily find yourself short on heroes to handle a critical mission. As your heroes complete missions, they gain experience and level up, allowing you to improve their stats however you think will benefit them most. Just as succeeding is rewarded, failure is punished. Failing certain missions will injure your heroes where the stats are cut in half. They fail too much, they'll be downed and unable to return for the rest of the shift, leaving your team short a man for the rest of the shift. The two love interests are Blonde Blazer and Invisigal. They both have real names that I've learned, but that's spoilers, so I won't say them here. There's plenty of people who undoubtedly want Blazer, and after seeing her in that dress, I certainly get it. But personally, I'm aiming for Invisigal, no matter what Chase thinks.
I still would've cut you.
Well, no one fucking asked you, old man.
Lucky fucking for you.
Also, this game has its own Maui! His name is Royd, and he's one of my favorites. The two other characters worth pointing out are this game's obligatory Superman clone Phenomimamal and Waterboy.
Welcome to you. You too.
Oh, you're so awkward. Oh, okay. I didn't need to see that. Oh no. That's not leaving my mind. If I had to see it, so do you. The story is honestly really engaging and fun. Every character, yes, even you, is likable in some way, and instances where one of them is absent makes a big impact on your shifts. At time of this being made, the full game has just last week launched. So I won't give too much, but here's a short, spoiler-light overview of each chapter. Chapter 1 is largely just getting you introduced to the world and its mechanics. Chapter 2 makes it clear just how challenging the game is going to be if you're careless. Chapter 3 forces you to make a very heavy decision that'll make your next shift a lot harder. Chapter 4 starts out very hot and begins the sexual tension between you and Invisigal. Blazer will give you a new character, and it's around here where you'll start to really get a feel for how your team works best. You give an emotional pep talk and go on a date. Chapter 5 deals heavily in Mecha Man, and you get into a bar fight. Chapter 6 just straight up made me cry. That's all I'll say. Chapter 7 raises the stakes to the max, and Chapter 8 is hands down the most difficult chapter of the game by a wide margin. I was not ready for that spike, but holy crap, the payoff for making it is just so damn worth it. Sorry I don't have a whole lot to say about the game in this section of the video, but I want to make sure I convey just how much I love it without telling you about what happens. Because I would much rather you go and play for yourself and learn. These characters all stand out to me in a ton of ways, and if you want to know who my favorites are real quick, that's very easily Chase, Invisigal, Punch-Up, and Royd, in no particular order. This game has a way of making you want to immediately go back through the exact same story and pick different options just to see what happens. Alright, it's time to get into spoiler territory. So, if you haven't played it yet, then either turn the video off or skip to this timestamp so you can go straight to my outro. I'm mega serious. Games like these are best experienced blind for your first run. I cannot emphasize that enough. Anyways, I'll give you to the count of...
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire! Your time's up!
Let's get gaming. The game gives you the option to censor certain details, I'll say. I chose not to while playing through it because I wanted to get the full experience, so forgive any instances of me trying to make do. You can also play in either interactive or cinematic mode. Interactive mode is what you'd expect from a Telltale game with QTEs and the like, but I opted for cinematic for two reasons. One, I wanted to focus more on the decisions than QTEs. And two, so you guys could have the best viewing experience available while I gush about this game. The graphics look fantastic, looking almost like a comic book made real, allowing all the colors and effects to just pop fantastically. Every character looks distinct and memorable, none of them just being a face to blend into the background. One thing I will say is that the physical attacks don't feel like they have any real impact, making it look weak and not always convincing. There's a few exceptions, but it's noticeable. The game begins with you talking to a hostage about the location of Shroud, a supervillain that killed Robert's dad. After a bit of persuasion, you get a location and then can either drop him or pull him up. Robert said he would lift the guy up if he shuts up, but he never did, so... Goodbye!
Sir, if you want something to scream about, I'll give you something to scream about.
I told him that I'd pull him up if he quieted down. He did not quiet down of his own volition.
You piece of shit!
After that, we fight and hack our way through Shroud's base. Hacking is something I'll go into more detail later, but for now, just know it's always easier than it may look. We get to Shroud's main room and get confronted by the guy we dropped. He talks a lot of shit that I honestly don't care about. After that, it's a beautifully choreographed fight scene that ends with you falling from the sky, and we meet the press a few days later, and yeah, that goes as well as you'd think it would, before getting beaten up by the Skittles gang, where we get saved by Blonde Blazer. She offers us a drink, and that wasn't very cool. Flambe starts making a menace of himself, and I cannot tell you how tempting the alcohol was, but could have been alcohol, which would have been a lot worse for you.
You know, but I don't know.
I'm happy with my decision. Blazer flies me to a billboard where she offers me a job in exchange for helping to fix the Mecha Man armor. She gives me a pair of glasses that I use for a training simulation, and it's so woodenly scripted in the best possible way, trying to sprinkle in facts about SDN's benefits package and other perks of the job like it's natural was hilarious. Honestly, the only reason this was hard for me was because I was too busy laughing at the intentional bad acting. In the morning, we meet up with Chase, who is awesome. He is immediately likable with how much sass he gives. We also meet Invisigal, who has absolutely no filter.
So, you two fuck or what?
Shortly after meeting Chase, we get introduced to our entire team. Sonar, a Were Man-Bat who's a Harvard graduate. Flambe,
Controls the fire and the flame, and his skin does not burn.
Right, met him. Didn't you ever run in with him years back?
I did. Yeah.
So you know he's a certifiable big hand.
Punch Up, a small Irish man voiced by Jacksepticeye who really likes punching dicks. Coupe, a former assassin. Malevola, literal demon from hell with a warp sword. Golem, a living cluster of dirt and rock. And Prism, pop star with power over reflective light. The first shift is going to be a little challenging as you learn these characters and what they can do. As you play the game, you'll inevitably unlock their abilities, some of which makes them integral members of the group. Punch Up cannot have his stats decreased from injuries and never gets down, meaning you can always count on him to perform at top shape. Coupe gets an ability where, if she's assigned to a mission that fails, she gets a do-over. This saved me a lot in the endgame. Hell, it's probably the only reason I actually won. Golem can fill up empty squad slots with duplicates of him that stretch their stats further, upping his chances of success without needing to use other members. Prism can create a light double of another member of the team she goes on a mission with, doubling their stats. These are just the ones I used most frequently. There's plenty others to use and take advantage of. After every shift, you get points toward your rank. The higher rank you have, the more tools you have for your team, like bandages to instantly heal an injured hero, or coffee to instantly take a hero out of resting, further encouraging you to use your team to the best of your ability. Before long, you have to make a tough choice to cut someone from your team, and unfortunately, no member of your team is mature about this. If you want your best odds of success, then for this one shift, never send anyone alongside anyone. Solo missions only. Otherwise, one person will sabotage the other, injuring them and leaving them behind. Make no mistake, you will not do well this shift, and there's nothing you can do about it. Before too much longer, it's decision time. Sonar or Coupe? This was a difficult decision for me. Coupe was good, but didn't yet stand out in any one stat, and I hadn't found her reroll skill yet. Sonar can fly and is easily the smartest member of the team, but he can't control his transformations and it tanks his intelligence stat, which is what I use him for. Ultimately, I made the decision to cut Sonar. And honestly, I stand by that choice to this day. Sonar... took it better than I expected him to, honestly. You get the opportunity to either join Blazer for some event or hang with Invisigal at the movies. Blazer's awesome, but I just don't see her in a romantic light. And also, Invisigal was kind of a badass recently, so I want to give her a good time.
I'm not gonna fuck you just because you bought me a bucket of corn.
Can you just be normal for like a second?
Now that Sonar is out, I get to pick a new member. The washed-up Phenomimamal or the awkward water boy. I ultimately decided Phenomimamal because my team was in desperate need of an oh shit button. Phenomimamal, aside from being a really hard name to say, has absurdly busted stats, basically never needing backup. but he doesn't level up and occasionally gets depressed while resting, slowing down his rest time. Luckily, that never really got in the way, at least not when I didn't have a coffee to use on him. With the team finally starting to really come together, they invite Robert to a bar after work, and we go, getting into a bar fight, and afterwards, everyone finally asks the big question. You can choose to not say, but I believe that they were gonna find out sooner or later. Better for them to hear it from the man himself. Flambe!
It is you. Little shit.
Reacts as you would expect. Everyone else is very cool about it, and they all share their civilian names. My next shift has Flambe missing, unsurprisingly, and aside from one bothersome mission, we managed to work around his absence well enough. Now that it's gotten more challenging, it's time to discuss hacking. It gives you control of a polygon that you run along a path. Occasionally, you'll encounter some antivirus things that you have to either duck and weave around or destroy with electric charges. The worst part of hacking is when you have to find a location. The best advice I can give you is just comb the entire map without stopping, and you will find it, as it immediately progresses the instant you find the coordinates. Royd and Robert have been trying to recreate the Astral Pulse, the power source of the Mecha Man armor that was lost in the explosion, but nothing has worked. Invisigal invites the Z team to a house party at Rob's place where we all hang out and try to work out where the pulse might be. Also, Flambe is back and he punched Robert. We managed to lock down a location, but Blazer won't let us go until morning, which Invisigal says would be too late. Chase says some pretty harsh things to her, and she goes rogue to try and grab the pulse. Robert goes onto his computer and helps her out, which is extremely difficult, and I won't pretend I didn't do a few resets out of concern for Vizzy's health. Shroud has her cornered and about to die when...
Get up! Keep up.
No!
Yeah, when I said Chapter 6 made me cry, this is what I meant. I cried the whole credits reel. Hell, I'm tearing up right now as I'm saying this just from remembering it. Chapters 7 and 8 just came out last week, so they are not something that I'm going to be going into detail. I will only say that it made me wish I picked Waterboy back at the earlier decision, and that the final dispatch sequence is easily the most difficult part of the game. I did multiple resets because I was not going to let Shroud and Sonar beat me. Yeah, Sonar's back and he wants revenge. Turning the character you cut into a type of boss battle is glorious, and I genuinely love watching the footage of me desperately trying to fight back against Sonar and protect the city at the same time. This game is such a perfect evolution of the Telltale system, and what surprised me most is that, from what I could see, there was no sequel bait. It's such a trope these days, I almost assumed it'd be guaranteed. I'm impressed that they were confident enough to let this stand on its own without the promise for more. That said, I would absolutely love more from this team of devs. New season of this game, new game entirely, I don't care. I will almost certainly play it. This game is addictive, giving you that I can do better mentality, compelling you to replay the game. Hell, I had to actually uninstall the game in order to keep from letting it distract me from making this video. If it would let me fast forward through cutscenes on repeat runs, I'd give it a perfect score. But as it is, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Players, will need patience if they want to reset after failures, but if you just play the game and enjoy the story and how it evolves around your choices, you're going to have a truly great time. This game is quite simply phenomenal. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an upload. Check out my buddy Tyler Crux. He does a lot of fun stuff on his channel, like his Road to Completion videos. Definitely check those out if you haven't already. We collab all the time. I'll catch you later, nerds.